All right, I think we're live. This is my first experience with StreamYard, so we'll see how the app goes or the site goes. But we're like right at 7 o'clock, 6:59. So we'll maybe see how we go in a couple minutes here. Give a couple minutes for people to come aboard. What we're gonna focus on is we are going to uh, talk about crypto basics. So if you are have been looking at this space and crypto is something that you think you might be interested in, and park it for a half hour, 40 minutes. Let's I really want to bring you up to speed on some of the things that we've been working on, some of the things we've done, and I'm going to give you some good stuff. So pull a chair up, get some notepad out, ask some questions if we get into some things that you think you want to learn a little bit more about. But be a fly on the wall. It's up to you. But what I want to do is we're gonna start by talking about the how did I get here. So I've been in and out of crypto now for about 5 years. I started off a few years ago, about 5 years ago, and I thought that because you hear crypto, so you everybody's talking about it. So, and this is years ago. So I thought you had to be a trader, like almost like a stock trader. And so I started to learn how to trade different cryptos. So if you're really new, you know that there's like two main cryptos. There's the Bitcoin and then there's the Ethereum. But then there's all these other coins, they call them altcoins, right? So I joined something, and this is years ago. It's not even, well, it's available, but it's not available the way that it was. But I joined something called Binance, and I started to learn how to trade, and I would, do research on certain coins, and then I would buy, move my money in, and I would buy the coins, and then I would either sit, wait, sell, and I just kept kind of doing this strategy. And I took a couple courses. I actually hired a coach at the time who was helping me learn how to read. They're called candlesticks, but read those measurements. And that's what I thought. I thought that's what crypto was like when everybody was talking about making money on crypto. I thought, what do? You got to be a trader, right? So I wanted to learn it, and so I said, okay, I'm going to take. I think at the time I took about $5,000 and I invested $5,000 to start trading with, and I would make a little bit, I would lose a little bit, but I was not good at the trading. And I mean, I even to this day, I still am really not good at the trading, but then I was really bad at it. I would chase, it's called chasing coins. I would hear about a coin, which is usually like way after everybody else had already heard about it. I would hear about a coin, and then I would go and buy that coin, and then essentially I would watch the value of that coin drop down steadily month after month, until I just decided, okay, I can't take this pain anymore, and I would sell it. And I mean, if there was a strategy for buy high and sell low, then that would be the strategy, pretty much the strategy that I was following, which was buy high and sell low. I was awful at crypto trading, and so this is like 5 years ago. So I didn't, I'm going to say I lose $5,000. I probably lost maybe like $2,000 to $3,000. I probably lost about half of the money that I had invested in. And so I kind of got out. I said, I'm done. I really didn't like it at all. and I decided that I was going to do other things, and so I just decided I'm out. I'm done with crypto. That's my crypto experience. So then this is about 5 years ago. So a little bit of time goes by, and a friend of mine, he gets involved with a crypto Bitcoin trading MLM type thing, right? And so he shows me a video. I watch it. I see people that are making a lot of money and driving nice cars, and honestly, I got caught up in it because I still was attracted to the crypto industry. So I got caught up in it, and I ended up throwing some money in, and I would buy these. They called them smart contracts. Really, they weren't, but I would buy these contracts where you would invest a certain amount of money, and then you would have to keep that money in these contracts for, I think it was 60 to 90 days. You would be making daily interest, and then you recruit other people, and then you would make money off of the interest they earn, right? So it's like a pyramid, right? Or they call it an MLM, but anytime the whole thing is about money, it's really more of a pyramid, right? So I get involved in that, and it did provide me a little bit more learning. They had some courses. I think they really were trying to teach people the right way to do crypto, but I probably had invested maybe another $4,000 or $5,000 in, and I had recruited a few people. I go to log in one day, the site's gone, and it had a what's called a 404 error code. The site was completely offline. And so I think I probably lost, I would say, probably about $5,000 on that deal. So we're up to about seven, right? So now I'm out. I'm done. I don't want anything to do with crypto. I go back to whatever else I was doing. It sneaks back in. Somebody sends me something. I start playing around with it. I think this time I actually was saying, "Hey, what do I do? I want to learn." And so I sought some people out, started getting a little bit better. I got better advice, but then I started to get ahead of myself, and I found something called Crypto 300. And so Crypto 300 was basically you bought in, and you could make money without recruiting, which I kind of like. But the site was weird. It was all, I mean, you could see, like, I look back, I could see the flags that were there, but it was very scammy, very just not something that anybody that I think has a half a brain will probably look at and say, this probably looks like a scam. But the money that they were talking about was big. I started off small. I thought I was being cautious, and I would put some money in, make a little bit of money, take the money out. So I was able to get my money back out of the system, and so I started to go in a little bit heavier, and then I won. I got my money out. I went in heavier. So they kind of like bait you in almost, because you start to build trust with the platform, and then boom, they change the rules. And when they changed the rules, I essentially they owed me about $20,000. That $20,000 would take 2 years for me if I went in and I pulled the money out day by day. I would have to pull out a couple dollars a day. So essentially what they said was, yes, we'll give you the money that we owe you. It's just going to be spread out over this time, but it's because of this, that, and the other. And, they made a bunch of excuses on why I couldn't get my money out. And that site is actually still up and operational. I would tell everybody to stay away from that particular site. So I started, but here's the thing, right? So this one I probably lost closer to about $20,000. The first two things I probably lost maybe $7,000 or $8,000. The next one stung really good. I went into something called Investrix. Now, Investrix was it was a lot cleaner. So what I've noticed is that these crypto schemes seem to be getting cleaner. They seem to be getting better. And so I went into Investrix, and I invested $5,000 in Investrix, and you buy these contracts, and you could essentially double your money within, I think it was 14 days. And so I did a cycle, and I turned 5,000 into 10,000 in 14 days. And then I took that money out. I did it again, 5,000 into 10,000 for another 14 days. And so again, they had built trust with me, and I said, okay, well, if I could do that, then I'm going to go in a little bit heavier. So I ended up doing a couple of different cycles. Altogether, I had about $21,000 in, and I was communicating with the people that were helping with the launch. There was clean trainings, videos. I go to log in, and the site's disappeared. It's not there. Can't get in. This one was hard. I mean, I had a lot of money in this, over $20,000. And actually, they had owed me 50,000. Like, if you look at the amount of money that I was promised, it was over 50. Real money, I had a little over 20 into it, but they owed me $50,000. And there was another one. I mean, it doesn't really matter, but I guess the point of why I'm telling you these stories is that when you hear about cryptocurrency, there are a lot of different ways to make money. There are high interest, high yield, accounts that you can set up. You can stake. They call it staking. You can mine. There's gaming. There's just investing in crypto. There's day trading. There's AI robots. There's tons of different ways that you could potentially make money in crypto. You could buy a coin and just sit on a coin for whatever, I mean, you'd get a tip, and you just sit on that coin for an extended period of time. And hopefully that coin breaks. I mean, I saw a video it was a couple days ago or last week where the guy talked about Bitcoin, and he used a chart, like if you would have put $1,000 in Bitcoin and what it would be, and this was like back 10 years ago, and now it'd be worth like, $100 million or some whatever crazy amount of money. And true, not true, I don't know. I didn't run the numbers, but the point is that there are a lot of different coins out there that you could potentially invest in. And there are some that are really exciting. I'm not going to kid you. There are some that you'll see 800% or 10,000%. Like, you see these returns that are unreal. But for all the ways that you can make money in cryptocurrency, that you can multiply that by 1,000 on the different ways that you could potentially lose money in cryptocurrency. There are so many ways to lose money and get scammed in cryptocurrency. I was getting ready for this live stream, and I was putting notes together, and I put together 5 ways that I've either lost money or I've gotten scammed in cryptocurrency. And I mean, I'm trying to give you like a 3,000-foot view, an outline of what some of those scams were, whether it's, again, just bad training, bad coaching, bad teaching, or me just fuddling around and losing money investing in coins, or whether it's actually scams, or they call them rug pulls, where you invest in something and then they basically pull the rug out from under you. I've had a few of those. And I'm guessing, because I don't have an exact figure, but I would guess that I have probably lost about $100,000 in the course of 4 to 5 years in cryptocurrency. And if I could help people with this one area, to me, when, obviously one of the things I do is I do coaching. If I can help people avoid that one area where you get literally crushed by the wrong types of investing and chasing the wrong things in cryptocurrency, that in itself is worth 1,000 times the price of admission in order to get into anything that I'm doing. And you don't have to sign up for my coaching in order to sit here and listen, right? I mean, you can just listen and be a fly on the wall, which is fine. But my point is that I did what I call, I guess, the school of hard knocks. I went and I tried things on my own. And I don't know if it was because I was stubborn or if it was because I couldn't find the right teacher or why I thought that I needed to go the way that I went. I mean, I really didn't even know really what to do. I mean, I just knew that I wanted to be in the space, so I just kept trying these different things. And here's the thing that has, I guess one of the epiphanies that has recently really hit me is what I paid is really paying for an education. Yes, I lost, but I won because I learned. I got better. And I learned, I'm not saying I'm far from a crypto expert. It's not what I'm trying to say. And when people look at my stuff and they see crypto and coaching and all that's I'm not trying to pretend or tell people that I'm some kind of crypto expert. Actually, some of the people I talk to, even some of the people that are in the No BS blueprint, have more crypto competency than I do. Maybe they're more experienced with trading or whatever, but I found something in the rubble. I found something that was almost by accident, and it was a couple of years ago. One of my coaches that was a good coach, we were moving money, and I needed to store my Bitcoin somewhere, and I didn't want to leave it on Coinbase, or I didn't want to leave it in a Cash App. Like I needed a wallet or somewhere I could store it to. So he said, go, and he sent me a link to an auto, it's called like an AI hedge fund. It was like a hedge fund, like a wallet, right? I didn't know anything about it, so I signed up. I jump into this wallet, and I all I was doing is I was parking my Bitcoin there while we were waiting to fund one of these other things, one of these other experiments that we were running. And so I had Bitcoin in there. We used it, and then I would profit and I would bring it back over there. And then a couple of summers ago, so it was about 2.5 years ago, I needed the funds out of the wallet. And this is one of I was looking at my wounds, and I said, I need to use the money for other things. I'm kind of taking an out right now to the whole crypto thing. You get beat up too bad, and you're just like, you're out, right? So I'm out. I clear out this wallet to zero, like nothing. Now I did that like mid-month. 2-3 months goes by, and I go to log into that wallet, and there's maybe like $80. And I called up my very good friend, and I said, why is there $80 in this wallet? What's the where? I cleared the account out. Why is there money in there? And he said, well, when did you take the money out? And I said, I don't know, maybe midway through the month. And he said, okay, well, if you took the money out midway through the month, you would have earned some interest. How much did you have in? And we've kind of figured it out. He's like, so you probably earned maybe $30 or $40 worth of interest. That gets paid you on the first of the following month. And then you didn't touch it. So it compounded for a couple months. So that grew. And I was like, wait a second. Explain to me what this is. Why did that happen? I need to understand it. And so that started me on a path to wanting to understand and uncover what this really was. Because from the first look of it, most people would look right past it. I did. I didn't think anything of it. I just looked at it as like an Exodus wallet, or, I just looked at it as a wallet. I didn't know if I was staking, or I didn't know what they were doing with my money or why I was earning interest. I just, they claimed about a 10% per month return on your money, but I never really paid much attention to it until that happened. And when that happened, I started to dig and look deeper into what this thing was. And I didn't do that so that I could teach somebody else, talk to other people. I didn't care. All I wanted something that I could trust, which again is the reason why I told you all the other stories, the horror stories of all the money that I lost and all the different things that I tried. Because people get on and all they want to talk about is all the great things they did, right? It's like, I invested in it. I mean, you hear stories like anybody would really feel dumb because it's like, okay, well, what am I doing wrong that these people are making all this money and I'm getting clobbered, left and right? Every investment I do it's like one is worse than the other. They look better. You think you're getting better, and then you just keep getting clobbered with all these different investments. So when I found something that was seemingly safe, I gravitated towards it. And I started using it on an ongoing basis. I would deposit funds in it. Now, the way that this hedge fund works is if I put, let's just say, if you put, I'm not saying do this, but let's just say you had $10,000 in the hedge fund for the month of January 2022, right? And you had that money in there for the whole month. Every time you went to go log in to the account to check on your money, it's going to say $10,000. It's always going to be $10,000. It's not going to go down, but it's not going to go up. It's just $10,000. And also, if you needed to get the $10,000 at any point in the month of January, you could go get the $10,000, right? So let's call it a savings account, right? So you have this savings account and there's $10,000 in it. The 20th comes around, you go to log in, you put $10,000 in, there's going to be $10,000 there. You need to take the $10,000 out, you take the $10,000 out, right? Now, what happens though is on the first of the following month. So in this case, that would be February 1st. So on February 1st, you now have your interest for the month. So let's say, again, if it was $10,000, let's just go under the assumption that it's 11.49%. Now, I say 11.49% because 11.49% is the actual number. If you take 2 years worth of this hedge fund and average out all the profit monthly, it's 11.49%. So if you had $10,000 in, your net was 11.49%, you would have made $1,149. So now when you log in on February 1st, you now see $11,149. If you kept the money in there, you are now going to earn interest in February on $11,149, not $10,000 anymore. That's what compounding is. So when we say compound interest, that's what we're saying is compound interest. You would now be earning 11.49 on 11,149, right? So now if I go back, I've been in this thing for a little over 2 years, but I have 2 years worth of tracking, which is where I came up with the number 11.49%. If you go and let's say you had $10,000 in that account, 11.49%, 0.49% monthly, and you let it sit for 2 years, you would have $136,038. 136,038 if you just let the 10,000 hours sit there. And so the thoughts started coming to me when I was watching these numbers. If I would have just taken my money, because it's boring, like there's nothing to do. If I put my money in this hedge fund, there's nothing for me to do. I can log in, it's just going to say the same thing every time. There's no strategy. What the site is doing, it's a 100% fully decentralized platform, and they are trading your money for Bitcoin and Ethereum, and they're doing small trades all day, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And so the site has never lost. It's been up for about 5 years, but over the past 2 years, I can only account for the last 2 years, it's averaged 11.49% net profit. So if you look at just that, if I just did that and just kept it there, I never would have lost all the money in all these other things, right? So I started, for me, putting more in, and I wanted to test it. And I didn't want to test it so that I could come teach it to somebody else. I wanted to test it because I wanted to know, is this something that I could trust, that I could put my funds in and it would work? And because again, I've had so many bad experiences that I wanted to know. And so I would put money in, I would take money out, I just tracked it. And I did that for about a year. And then after about a year, I told a couple people, and the couple people that I told were my kids, and they were my daughters. And so my daughters started funding their own hedge fund account, and one of them put, I think, four or 5,000 in, and the other one did about the same, about between 4 and 5,000. They worked for the summer, and then they would fund this hedge fund and let the money grow. Now, my one daughter who's in college has taken some out. I just talked to her about it the other day. So she's sitting on about 10,000. She said she made about 6. And then my other daughter, who really hasn't touched anything, I haven't actually looked at her account recently, but the last I checked, she was at about $15,000. So it's just working because they are able to just not touch it, right? Like most people, if you're investing and you're learning, you pull money out, you're touching it. Go ahead. So you're playing with it. Meet Jake. So you're playing with it, right? So it's hard to just keep it in there. But if you just kept the funds in there, that's what you would expect. So I told my kids. Then I started teaching it, right? Because I'm a coach, right? So I started coaching some people on it, and I had some people that I had walked through this entire thing from soup to nuts, like how to buy the Bitcoin, how to fund the account, how to extract money out of the account, how to set up the account, how to protect the account, security. And I would just teach them how to set these hedge fund accounts up. And I would charge $3,000 to have. I mean, I did some other things for them too, but this was one of the things that I would teach them. And essentially, the way I looked at it is, this is your foundation. I want you to set this up so that you have a foundation set up, because if you just did this and did nothing else, this is a plan. And I'll give you an example of a plan, right? So let's say somebody said, well, I don't have $10,000 to put in, but they're willing to let that go for twice as much time. So let's say I put $1,000 in and I did that for 4 years. At the end of that 4 years, I would have $185,064. But what's more important is what you actually would have at the conclusion of that time, because you would actually have about a $20,000 per month passive residual income stream at the end of that 4 years. Somebody could, let's say, start with 100, and let's say they went 5 years, $100, and they went 5 years. At the end of that 5 years, they would have $68,000 in this hedge fund, but that would be about a $700 to $7,500 per month passive residual income stream. Another strategy I've seen a couple people use is they'll do 100 in, and then they'll do 100 a month. And if you did just that one little tweak, but you still did it for 5 years, 100 in and then 100 a month for 5 years, at 11.49% is $661,454. So let's take that down a year. Let's say that you did that for 4 years instead of 3. You're at 178. So in 4 years, I don't know what your bills are, right? But $20,000 a month passive residual income, that's a lot of money. And so there's a lot of different ways to fund this account. There's no minimums. You have access to your investment at any point. And so I started a few months ago. I put up a post on Facebook, and I said, hey, I usually charge $3,000 for this, but if somebody wants to jump in, I'll do it as a group, and you pay 300 instead of 3,000, and I'll walk you through this from the beginning to the end. I'll show you exactly what to do and how to set up the account. Even if you've never bought Bitcoin, you don't know anything about Bitcoin, I'll show you exactly how to do it. And so that's what we did. We ran that first group. And I was looking at, I tried to get somebody to come on live, and I couldn't get anybody to jump on. I don't know if they're worried about the, being on camera or whatever. But I did grab a testimonial from one of the guys in the group. So we had about 20 people in that first round. But one of the people that jumped in the group, his name is Jeff Packer, and I don't really know Jeff. He's a guy I met really kind of on Facebook. So I'm gonna share. Let's see if I share my screen here. Share screen. Okay. Oh, it won't let me do that. All right. I was going to share my screen and just show, a picture of him, but that's okay. Jeff is one of the guys in the group. I posted something about a week ago, and he posted this, and he said, "Here's my testimonial," because he said he couldn't be on, but he said, "Thank God Glenn shared what he found, because this is really cool. It may have changed the financial direction for a lot of people. I find myself playing with the compound interest calculator a lot, figuring out different scenarios and certain goals. My goal right now is a passive income. If you can wait and allow the compound interest to work in your favor, you might have a chance. I'm glad that Glenn is surrounding himself with great people to find great opportunities like this." Listen, I mean, I can sit here and go through testimonial after testimonial after testimonial. The ones that paid attention and did what I had told them to do are all have their hedge funds set up. And I say that because there are people who joined and either they never communicated with me. I don't know if they have their hedge fund set up or not. I don't know what you put in your hedge fund. When you come into my group, I teach you how to fish. You don't report to me. You don't have to tell me how much you're funding. You're not sending me money. You're signing up. You paid $300 one time, and you're basically coming into my world, coming into my group. Now we've advanced it, right? So I took feedback from people. So what happened was I was doing live, trainings, but not everybody could get on the live training. So a lot of people were just watching the recordings. So I'm like, well, some of these are like 90 minutes long. What if I can shorten them down? And so basically what I did was I was able to teach how to get your hedge fund set up in 5 videos. All together, those 5 videos are 90 minutes. So when somebody enrolls, they get an email with an intro video that's 30 minutes with a PDF that they print out, and they literally will go step by step. And I walk them through how to set up the hedge fund. I walk them through how to fund the hedge fund, how to take money out of the hedge fund, how to set up the security of the hedge fund, everything you need to know in order to get the hedge fund set up. I walk you through it. So somebody that literally has zero crypto competency can come in, because it doesn't matter. Like, what does it matter? Crypto, not crypto. If you can get 11.49% net on your money, then you can figure that out. There's a really good opportunity for you to finally see what financial freedom could look like. And that's really what this comes down to, is that there are a lot of different ways to win in crypto. There are also a lot of different ways to get taken advantage of or lose in crypto. I found one way that, knock on wood, has worked for me for over 2 years. It was over a year before I brought it to anybody, clients, family, whatever. And then really another year before I started teaching it. Now, I wasn't going to go through with phase 2 of the No BS crypto blueprint. The only reason why I did is because most of the people gave me testimonials just like the one I just read. Most of the people were so amped and so excited about what they learned just off of that one strategy that I decided I can't not continue to keep doing this. So that's why I re-recorded the videos, cleaned everything up, created just a nice, tight, clean system. So now when somebody comes in, They as soon as they sign up, which by the way, it's nobscryptoblueprint.com, nobscryptoblueprint.com. And so look, so I don't know who this is. I do. So grateful for the process. Again, I'm getting used to StreamYard. It just says Facebook user, so it doesn't tell me who it is. But I am going to put in no BS crypto blueprint.com, no BS crypto blueprint.com. So that's where you go to enroll if you want to do enroll. And again, you start off, you get the email, and it has a PDF, the video, and I literally walk you through exactly what to do step by step. Now, here's the other feature that is kind of new. So I'm not going to give the number, right, because this is open, but I give you, there's a number, a phone number that you have that basically comes to my cell phone. And if you get stuck, you then can text me and say, hey, I'm stuck. I don't know how to do this, or I don't know how to do that. And then so what I do then is I have a tool where I could literally go onto my laptop and I could screen record exactly what to do in a few minutes. And most of the time, like, my kids all make fun of me because I'm sitting here like, why are you wearing a hat and, sweatshirt? But this is how I dress. I sit at my computer and this is how I work. I like to be warm, and most of the videos, this is what you're going to see. So you might as well know what you're going to get. And, I send you a little video, like 3, 4, 5 minutes long, and I show you how to get through whatever it is you're getting through. And so that's the other part about being in my group. So once you're in the group, we have a private Facebook group. You come into the Facebook group and you get to see all the other things that we're doing. So I set everybody up with the base, which is the hedge fund, right? Now, once you have now some crypto competency and you have that, and now, by the way, I have people that have even more crypto experience than me that are in the group because they knew how good this find was. So don't think that this is just for beginners. This is for anybody, really. I mean, anybody who wants to have a good, solid strategy. I will show you how to do this, and it doesn't matter if you have tons of crypto. I talk to people that have way more experience than I do, but they don't know this. And if you don't know how to do this, then somebody needs to show you how to set up the account and protect it the right way, because you're dealing directly with the blockchain. And if you don't know what that means, it doesn't matter. You don't need to know it, but you're dealing directly. You're essentially programming this artificial intelligence to trade for you without risking your principal investment. Listen, I mean, I get into the details, but that's it for the most part. So I set everybody up with this base philosophy. Once you have the base philosophy, then I show you how to do other things. So here's the goal. And if you're in the group, because I'm seeing some things that lead me to believe that there are some people that are in the group that are listening and some people that are new, whatever. If you're in the group, then I don't know that I've ever said this, so I want to say it out loud so you can hear it. My goal is that you have 8 to 10 passive income streams established by the end of 2022. So when I say a passive income stream, what I mean is if I go to, let's say if I do the mining, right? So one of the strategies is mining. So once we have you set up with the base and your money is making money, and so now we have that one strategy in place, there's nothing to do, right? And if you have enough money to put in there, you can. I mean, we got some people that are in the group that have enough money in their hedge fund that the profit pays their monthly bills. I'm one of those people. There are other people that strategy pays their bills. Now, there are other strategies once you have that base strategy set up. So I like mining because mining is also low risk. See, here's again, if you were here at the beginning and you listened to me talk about all the ways that I got crushed and lost money in crypto, then you know that I'm very protective over my group. Anybody that comes into the No BS Crypto Blueprint, whether I know you or don't know you, if you trusted me enough, and I know, yes, it's $300 for some people, it's a lot of money. For some people, it's not a lot. But to me, it's a lot. And it's not about the money, it's because it's about the trust. And really, what I do with the $300 is I take most of the money and I pay, because I have a tech guy that helps me with all the tech stuff, setting up the tech stuff, and then I have people that are helping me with the marketing stuff. Like I have to pay to manage this whole process. So it's not really a big profit center for me. I'm hoping that eventually it could be, but it is building a really cool community. The people that are in there are supporting each other. I have this thing down to a science now. So when somebody comes into the group, I know how to get them up and running on their hedge fund right away with the videos. And again, every video is a PDF that you print out and you take notes with when you watch the video. And the reason why is because one of the people that were in the group said, I can't figure out where to go to get this one little piece of information. I had to go all the way back and rewatch this one video. And I was like, well, that's dumb. Like, I don't want you to have to do that. So I did it where you have now the PDF and the video. So you can print the PDF out, take notes while you watch the video, and then you can go back. Once you're setting up your hedge fund, you have the notes and the pictures, and so you can make sure that you're doing it the right way. And that way you don't have to make mistakes. I've made mistakes in crypto where I sent Bitcoin to an Ethereum address. That cost me $500 or $600. I mean, I made so many mistakes that you just don't have to make. I mean, honestly, like, that in itself is worth it, because if you just learn how to take care of yourself in this space, it's well worth the small investment to be a part of the group. This I originally it's like you were signing up for a course, but that's not what this is anymore. It's not a course. It's a community. You're buying into a community, and you're getting coaching. You're essentially hiring me as a coach. And most of the time now, people don't need me, so I'm not getting as many text messages as I used to get. But if somebody needs me, if they get stuck, they text me, and then I go and I shoot that quick video and I send it over. Right. So I got that part down to a science now. So now it's like, well, now what? Right. So again, now the goal is I want to get everybody in this group. So let's say the bigger vision now that we're in phase 2 is I would like to see 1,000 people set up 8 to 10 unique passive income streams. And so the hedge fund is one of them. Mining. So we have the access to licenses to be able to mine. It all sounds like, what? Confusing. I don't understand. I don't know mining. And, there's literally nothing to it. So all you're doing is you're downloading a license to be able to mine certain coins. And then those coins, the idea is those coins are obviously going to be worth money. Right. So, but there's nothing to do. You're not doing anything. You're just plugging this license in on your computer, and basically the computer is doing the work. You get rewarded, and you get money. It's a passive income stream. So the guy that I learned this technique from bought 4 Gala licenses. You can look up Gala, Gala. Look up Gala if you know how to look up cryptocurrencies. I don't know what it's trading for today, but last I checked, it was trading for about 35 cents, right? So this guy has 4 Gala licenses. I mine about 1,000 coins a day off of my license. I think he still mines 1,000 coins a day from his 4 licenses. So that's 4,000 because he's got 4. And by the way, he bought these licenses for $1,000 a piece, and this was 3 years ago. These licenses are worth now $75,000 each. So he's got 4 licenses. So he's mining about 4,000 coins a day. If they're trading for 30 cents, that's 1,200 hours per day over the course of a month. It's $37,200 per month over the course of a year. Is $446,000 and some change. And obviously, if the coin value goes up, it goes up significantly. But right now, that's what we're looking at. It's about 440 to $500,000 that he's mining, not doing anything, but his computer is doing the work for him. So that's what I would call a passive investment stream, right? So there are different investment strategies like that you just invest in, and and let the technology do the work. We also have artificial intelligent bots, which it sounds fancy, but all it is you have bots that trade for you so that you don't have to do it. Once you have it set up, there's nothing for you to do. And so I'm not saying come in and do all these things. Like I said, the base strategy is that when somebody comes into No BS Crypto Blueprint, and they enroll into nobscryptoblueprint.com. They get an email with a video and a PDF to set up their hedge fund. They get access to a portal, a membership portal where there's another 4 videos for them to watch. They're all together 90 minutes. So it's like 30 minutes, 20 minutes, 13 minutes, 15 minutes. So all the videos together are about 90 minutes, and they all have a PDF that you can print out and take notes as you go. And I help you get the hedge fund set up. I bring you into the community. Now we have the base philosophy done. And then we'll show you some other things that you could potentially do if you wanted to. You could potentially invest in if you wanted to invest in them. And now you start to learn. And the people that are in the group 2-3 months ago couldn't hold a conversation, most of them, about cryptocurrency. Some of them were already competent, but most of them not so much. Now they can have a legitimate conversation, and they can go toe to toe with somebody and understand the basic fundamentals of that world. And that world is a huge world. It's a huge ecosystem. If you're not familiar with this, if you think that crypto is a fad, then, and listen, I get it. I get that question a lot. I mean, I get the question, do you think that this is gonna stick around? Do you think it's gonna be here? Is crypto for real? There are 13,000 different coins. Crypto is so much bigger than you can possibly imagine, and it's a decentralized financial tool. And if you really understand what's happening with the way money is managed by not just our government but by other governments, you would realize that it's not our government that actually prints the money out, but there's a bank. They call it the central bank, and our government is in debt to that central bank. And when we print money, like when you see that trillion, whatever that number is, debt toll, that they keep writing checks and sending people these checks, and all that money is debt. So when we pay our taxes, what are we doing? We're paying back some of that debt, and that goes eventually up to this central banking system, which is actually privately owned. And and it's all centralized. It's a centralized banking system. They call it the central bank because it's centralized. Well, cryptocurrency is decentralized, It is a decentralized financial tool, and it's getting better. It's still in its infancy stage. So I know some people think that they missed the boat. Some people think they're too late. So I don't know what people think, or they don't trust it. And listen, I get it. There are things not to trust in that cryptocurrency world. But if you have the right community that will help you get through some of that and learn these basic strategies so that you can start to see what this cryptocurrency ecosystem is really about, what you will find is that the reason why some people are really excited is because there is so much potential and there is so much money to be made in cryptocurrency if you find the right thing, if you surround yourself with the right community, surround yourself with good people that have integrity, that are looking out for your best interest. And that doesn't mean that everything that we touch is going to be perfect. It's not. It doesn't work like that. But just know this: when you're in my community, everything that I bring to my community, I have done everything I can to vet it out using a lens of 5 years of experience now of hits and misses and misfires and rug pulls and being scammed and all that stuff. What it's done is it's helped educate me, so now I know how to look better at a project to determine if it's a real project, if there's real utility there, if there's really something that we could sink our teeth into, and is it worth us spending our time there. And so anyway, we're coming up on just a little bit under an hour. I don't know if anybody has any questions. Again, I'm kind of new to StreamYard, so hopefully this went well. I mean, it felt like it went well, but I can't tell what you guys see. But if you have some questions, certainly put them in the just normally like where you would post and ask me some questions live so that I can answer. But if you aren't in the No BS Crypto Blueprint, you can go to No BS Crypto Blueprint, enroll. If you followed my instructions, you could potentially have your account set up within the next couple hours. Everything is ready for you. You can also text me if you have questions at 856-219-2423. That's 856, let's see, 856-219-2423. You can text me questions if you have questions. But, essentially, this is a community. It's not a course anymore. This is about community. This is about being a part of something. And the only way you'd really be able to see that is by crossing the bridge and coming over to the other side, which you would do at No BS Crypto Blueprint. Hopefully I was able to help you in some way, somehow, with learning and starting to navigate this space. But I do appreciate the time. I know that taking time out of your day and coming in and learning sometimes isn't always the easiest thing. I do appreciate you spending some time with us here tonight. So, but anyway, that's about it for tonight. And I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up. And everybody have a great night, and we'll see you for my group. We'll see you on Saturday for training.